Hey, great news everybody! The edging is here. That's right, it's the EdgeRite metal edging system. We're going to give this a try, and this is what it looks like coming right out of the box. As you can see, it is a heavy piece of steel edging. It's got spiky, poundy-in things there at the bottom, and at the top it's got a nice rolled edge, so when you look at the front of it, it's going to look really nice. It's going to look just like that. Isn't that going to look good? You might be thinking, I don't know, it looks a little bit like sheet metal. Don't know if I want that in my yard. The nice thing about this sheet metal is it will eventually change color. It's going to oxidize and turn kind of a more natural brown looking color. All right, let me tell you about the situation. Okay, here's the setting, a lovely screened-in porch up top, but down below we've got a patio that gets a lot of mold and discoloration because so much water sits down here, and it's because a lot of the water's flowing from up there in the neighbor's yard, catches in our yard, and just rushes right down through here, down this hill, over the retaining wall, through the hosta, and it just makes a big old mess on the patio. So my goal is to see if I can take the EdgeRite system and put a border right through there that's going to go downhill and kind of curve around nicely and send the water, the main runoff water, out to the yard where it will properly drain. So I don't know if it's going to work. It's going to be my first try. So let's get after it and see how easy this EdgeRite stuff is. Cross your fingers. I'm mostly concerned about curving it because I'm not a real straight line guy. I'm more of a curvy, artistic guy. So I'm hoping to have something that'll kind of flow through here, twist a little bit. How easy is it going to be for me to bend this stuff and actually make it look good and not make it look like I bent it myself? So we're going to give that a try and see how it goes. Okay, here are the results of my first try. I'm just going to show you this one, then I'll show you how I did it. So I'm actually pretty pleased with it. If you take a look at that line, it does curve around nicely, coming over to here. So I think it's going to go maybe better than I thought it would. And it wasn't too hard, though it did take me 2 or 3 times to kind of adjust it. All right, now let me show you what I did. So that's the first piece, and it's going to kind of come down this way. Then I want the second piece to kind of come back this way. So it's going to come down and then in. So I'm going to leave it in there. So it looks like I need to bend it a little bit right in here back that way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try this. Put my hand here. I'm just going to press down as I slowly pull the whole thing up to try to make it gradually curve. And it's going to take a little bit of time. I don't want anything too sharp. The nice thing I'm finding about this is it's so thick and so strong that it really is kind of hard to bend, but I think that's a good thing, because if it was easier, it might crease or it might get really lumpy. So I really kind of like the thickness in this metal for the curving. All right, let me see. So if you take a look at that, you can see that it already has a good bow right about here. So I'm going to look and see what's that going to look like when I match it up. Not bad. I think I like it. All right, my next curve, I'm going to maybe send it back down the other way a little bit. So put my hand on the back side and see what I can do to start directing it the other way just a little bit. Ooh, I might have got too much bend in there. I don't know. You kind of don't know until you stop and look at it. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. I don't know if you can see that, but we got a little bit of an S here. Let's see how that's going to match up. It's going to come through there, right around here. There. I think I kind of like it. I think I like it. All right, so not too bad. I do like that you can bend it fairly easily, but it does take a little bit of work, which gives me confidence that it's not just going to be flimsy. I'm not going to make a misbend, let's say, and have like a big crease in it or something going the wrong way. So the other nice thing is I do feel like I'll be able to kind of correct it. If I over bend in one space, I think I'll be able to go back and kind of unbend it and move it a little bit in a different way. So I'm liking it so far, so good. Okay, we're getting there. So I just came up here to put it on the ground. I haven't pounded it in yet. I'm just trying to get a look how this is going to look. How is that curved line coming? How is maybe the heavy runoff water going to be impacted by this barrier? I know I've got a lot of leveling to do. I'm going to have to do some dirt work here before I actually pound this thing in. But I think I'm going to like what it's going to do. So you can see how I got my curves here. I'm coming back through this way. I think now this is just going to help me realize I need to take this piece and bring it a little bit. I'm going to straighten it out that way before we then curve back and dive down around over there. So, all right, we're going to keep going. Hope it goes well. Okay, let's come out here to the top side and get a look at how it is coming together so far. I haven't pounded anything in yet. I'm adding a third piece there. You can see the ones that are curved around. I might keep this one straight, or I think I'm going to go ahead and curve it a little bit at the end. Then I'm going to try to shoot it right around this other post. So it'll come out here. I'm going to curve it right down through here. So I'll always be able to shoot that water that runs off in the heavy, heavy rains right out into the center of the yard. Okay, I've added 4 pieces now, and this last one I put quite a big bend in it there. So if you take a look all the way up to the top, you can see it's not pounded in yet, so don't think, hey, that doesn't look very good. Oh, it will, I think, I hope. I'm going to put some sod on this side. I'm going to put mulch and more ferns and ground cover on this side for the shade, and hopefully the sod will hold. It gets a little bit of sun every day out here. So that's going to do that, and then look at this curve here that I just put in at the end. My goal is to wrap it down around. Somehow I'm going to have to deal with this drain pipe. You can see this is all washed out from the water, so that's the problem I'm trying to solve. So I'm going to deal with that drain pipe. I have an idea for that. And then I'm going to try to see if I can bring it down through here and somehow get between this sprinkler head and that piece of footing from the deck post, and then bring it over here and see. I don't know, I'm about ready for a break. How are you guys doing? Hey, what music do you listen to? I've been listening to Ben Folds. It's my first time listening to Ben Folds. He's coming to town, so I'm going to see if I can catch some tickets to the concert, because the guy's killing it on piano. What do you listen to while you do your landscaping? Put that in the comments below, because, you know, every YouTube video, they have to tell you to put something in the comments below. So there you go. What music do you listen to while you do your landscaping? Ben Folds for me. Hey, maybe Ben Folds will sponsor this video. Ben, well, just send me some money. I'm a new fan of yours as of today. All right, so speaking of folds, we're going to continue to fold these pieces and bend them. Hey, Ben folds! How about it? It works out perfectly. Ben folds. We're going to bend and fold these pieces of landscape edging around. I'm going to show you another one, because the next one I think is going to be almost a perfect curvature. The whole thing's going to have to curve. I'm not going to have any straightness at all. So I'll just show you how I do it. Hopefully it'll work. If not, maybe you can learn from that. Okay, I'm pretty pleased with the curve in that. It's pretty uniform. I like it. Now let's see how it matches up. So if I set it there roughly, okay, so it's gonna be about like that, coming down like this, a little bit more like that. It's not easy to hold the camera and adjust the thing at the same time. Okay, yep, looking good. Let's check that curve as it comes down. Okay, it's wonky there, but I think it curves too much on that second to last piece. I'm gonna have to get this a little less curved right there at the end. Bring it in here, and I did not hit where I needed to hit. So I'm gonna have to unbend this and bring it. I'm gonna have to unbend it a little bit right here. Straighten it out in this part right through there. So, all right, let me try and work on that. Okay, here's the updated piece now that I have rebent it. And I'm pretty pleased with this bend, actually. So as you can see right now, it's coming right off of there. I actually tweaked that one a little bit too. So I'm feeling good about this. Once it's pounded in, I think it'll be even better looking. So I'm really happy with how easy this stuff is to bend. and especially re-bend when you maybe didn't get it quite right the first time. My fear was once you bent it once, it was going to be really hard to ever make it look smooth and straight again. But I don't know, look at this line. What do you think? I think that looks pretty good, and you saw what I did. It wasn't much, just a little bit of work with the hands, and that's where we are. Okay, so I think I also happened to nail the curvature here. I like the way it's coming in there. It's going to come right around here, and hopefully it's going to miss this sprinkler head and also miss this part of the footing. I guess maybe I could knock some of that out. I don't know if I really want to do that, though. The other issue I have to deal with is this drain pipe right here that you can see in the ground. So I'm going to have to go right down into that space. That's the drain pipe that's coming off of the pipe on the back of this retaining wall. Of course, they said, oh yes, we'll just put that in. That will catch all the water. Well, you can see that didn't exactly work very well because of all this erosion. This is the problem I'm actually trying to solve with this project. And I also think it's going to look nice when it's finished too. So what would you do when you got to this drain pipe? Put your ideas in the comments below so I can read them after I've already finished the project. So it's not going to help me, but maybe it'll help somebody else. My two ideas are I could just pierce right through it. This stuff is so thin, it's almost like a razor blade. I think it would just go right through it and probably not really have any impact in the water that's draining, because it just comes right here to this little exit in the yard. Or my other idea, which is going to be harder, but I might try it, is to actually cut out part of the edging right here, just so it's almost like a bridge that will just go right over that pipe. And then if I sod right up next to it, hopefully we wouldn't see that and it wouldn't let any water through. That's my idea. I don't know. What do you guys think? And here we are, one more piece. So now we've got the one going over the drain pipe, and I've added this one here. So I think I've got the angles just right. I think it's going to look good once we pound it all in there. It's got a nice curve to it. Again, we've got this one that goes over the drain pipe. It's going to miss the footing on this side, and it's going to miss the sprinkler head, and the line goes this way on this side. So I think I've got it going right through there. I like the angle. I've got it coming through there. I'm going to take it behind that other post there just a little bit, and I don't know where I'm going from there. I don't know if I'm going to stop about here or if I'm going to pull it all the way back outside. I've got another low spot over here I've got to deal with, so this edge right edging might be a solution for that as well. All right, so when I did this, I also made sure I left me enough room for my lawnmower to get up into here. You don't want to start a project, do it, and think, okay, I solved that problem, then just created another where I'm going to have to spend more time mowing or weed eating or something. So hopefully I've got that measured out nicely. I had to go to my second box. I think I ordered 4 boxes so far. There are 5 pieces in each box. So I just opened my second box. I got 4 left. I also have 2 more boxes in the garage. I've got a lot of edging to do because I'm also going to go across there and edge that whole berm over there with a nice curvy wall as well to also help prevent some erosion that comes that way. So the Edge Right product is not cheap. I did get the 8-inch edging instead of the 6-inch, or I think the other is a 14. I think the 8 is going to be perfect for what I need. Again, I want enough to make sure I can get plenty down into the ground and also have enough sticking up to stop waves of water as they're coming through. That's kind of my goal. I do think it's going to look really, really nice. So I've got the 8-inch going here. In the package, you also get the connectors, and we haven't connected anything, haven't pounded anything in yet. I've still got a lot of dirt work and some other landscaping work to do before I actually pound this stuff in. Then we will connect it with these. I think it's going to look really good. So stay tuned. We're getting there. Be patient. All right, good morning, everybody. I'm back for day number 2. Going to get back at this project. I got Louie here to help me out. He looks a little hot already. I got my son Mitch working from home today in the basement, so he's going to be there working, watching his dad in the sweltering heat doing manual labor. But that's all right. It's going to be fun. We're working with the Edge Right system. Look what happened overnight. Already seeing some of the discoloration on the steel. Can you see that? It was all sheet metal gray yesterday. Today I'm already seeing some of that rusting effect where this piece had fallen over and was laying against the grass overnight. So you might think, oh my gosh, it's ruined already on the second day? No, no, no. It's supposed to do that. Have no fear. That's the product working as advertised. It's a Corten steel, and just on the surface it's going to discolor. It's going to rust, you might say, or have that oxidized look on it. It's actually going to look really nice. Don't worry. It's going to give it a real natural look. It's going to blend in with everything in your landscaping really well. And it'll even help it just disappear a little bit, but I think we'll still provide that nice, clean edge that I'm looking for. So here we are today. I'm going to now spend some time moving dirt around and getting ready to pound this stuff in. Enough of that work. Let's put down the shovel. That's no fun at all. Get out the hammer. This is where the fun starts. So I've already put this first piece in, started in the middle, went to both ends. I love it. Really, really sturdy. It is down in there, nice and low. I'm going to show you now how I do the second piece, how I can match it up with the first one. Well, okay, I went ahead and put the next two pieces in off camera just so I could avoid these ferns, because it's hard to work around those ferns and get a good video at the same time. So now we're going to put in this next piece. This will be the fourth piece. Take a look at these joints, though. I'm really liking how these look. I went ahead and put the little clips in between the two. That one was a little looser. This one was a little tighter. It actually went in really, really tight. You can see how well it's matched up there. That one felt really good. I don't mind the loose one either, though. I don't think that's going anywhere. So I like the clips. Now let's go ahead and show you how to pound one into the ground. All right, here we go. So I'm going to line that piece up with the existing one. I did find that I'm going to leave just a few millimeters of a gap in between them. The first one I put right next to it, and then if it went in at a slight angle, they almost overlapped a little bit. So from now on, I'm going to probably leave about 2 or 3 or 4 millimeters in between each section. I'm going to make sure I've got the curve that I want. I want to make sure I'm ending up where I want it to end up. That's the most important thing. And then I'm going to take my block of wood, set it down this way. I noticed lots of people did it this way. I'm not sure why. I think I want it running lengthwise with the edging. I'm going to start tapping it in. Definitely want to start tapping in the middle. If you put that one end in first, then you put the other end in, you're just going to get this seesaw effect back and forth. So go with the middle first and get it to about the depth that you're interested in. Then I'm going to come out a little bit from the middle this way, a little bit from the middle this way. Just kind of keep working it in that way. It looks like I'm actually about even over there, so I'm going to continue to work towards the edge. Now I'm on a slope and a hill, which I do not think is to my advantage. Hopefully you have some flat ground that you're working on. I do think it would make it a little bit easier. But I'm liking how this goes. So you see how I'm just running that block of wood around and tapping it in. I've got some really nice soft dirt, so it's going in very easily. I can imagine it may not always be the case. So if you have hard ground or a bunch of rocks, which I do have a bunch of rocks, but I've been pulling a bunch out, it could take a little pulling it out, digging, and have to start all over again. But so far it looks pretty good. Next step, let's put on the clips. All right, these little connecting clips, there are 3 in each bag, and there are 2 bags, so I think I've got 6 of them. I don't know if you can see that, but it separates here, 2 little triangles, and it's just like a pin. It's going to slide over this one. And, yeah, see, I said I'm going to leave 3 or 4 millimeters. Well, I've got more than that. So I do have a bit of a gap on this one. I think I'm going to use the block to tap it in. However, it is super easy. As I mentioned, I had one earlier where I got really tight, and it was hard, and I had to end up kind of pulling those pieces apart a little bit in order to get it to tap all the way down. So this one has a bit of a gap up here at the top, but you're not going to see any of that on the front because that connecting clip does cover it all the way through. So I think it looks good. I'm going to go take a look at it from the other side, but I'm pretty pleased with that. Okay, here's what it looks like from the other side. Looks pretty good, I would say. Now you can see, because I left a little bit of gap in between the two pieces, you can see how that rounded edge on top has a little bit of space here before it meets the clip, and a little bit over here. Now on the first one that I did up there, they were so tight. I mean, there's no gap at all between those two, and it was a little bit difficult to get in as a result. So I do think if you can get it tighter, it would be stronger and really, really hold. It would also look really, really nice. But I'm underneath a porch. Nobody's ever going to see this. So I think I'm going to leave it as is. From here, you don't see anything. It looks really good. Certainly no gap is showing from the outside. So I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, there it is. There we are. We're at this point in the project, and I do think instead of continuing on down this way for right now, I'm going to focus on the landscaping. So back to the digging and the sodding. It's not so fun. It's more fun to put in the edging. By the way, if you're going to do this, one more tip for you. Hey, don't do it in July. Do it in like January or something when it's not 100 degrees outside. But anyway, must press on. I think what I'm going to do here is actually do some landscaping. And I think I'm going to cut this out and actually have it come as a U so it comes back up towards the edging. And maybe a lot of that water then will kind of fall and hit that natural berm there and just come through here without even making it to the metal edging. I'm going to give that a try, but you can see I've already started with the sod up here, so I started filling it in. Look how nice that's going to look. Looks just like it's been part of the yard all along. You can see that nice edging there just peeking above the grass, and I think as soon as I hit that with the weed eater, it's going to be just the right height, so very happy with that. All right, back to the digging. Well, here it is, the first rain since the install, right in the middle of the project, of course. See the water's coming down pretty hard right now, but I don't think it's going to last long enough for me to know if this is going to be a good solution. However, I'm starting to be more and more hopeful. This metal edging is looking really good. It's also holding up that sod, and I think as soon as everything kind of settles in, this might be the solution I'm looking for. I think it might work. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, going to finish the project, but nice to have a little break from the hot sun. Well, okay, 45 minutes later, that rain was actually much bigger than I thought it was going to be. It stuck around. So I came out to take a look. How did it fare? There was a lot of water up there on the other side of the edging. I just put the last couple pieces of sod in after the rain, and it was very muddy up there. Behind the edging, not muddy at all. No water really to speak of. There's a little bit of dampness, which is, of course, just the ground seepage coming up through there, and that's fine. The last time we had a rain, this whole wall was just soaking wet there and there, where that water has just come gushing into the wall, hit the back of it, and come through. So I've never heard of this Edgerite metal edging sold or billed or advertised to be any kind of a water barrier. That's kind of my own idea. However, I do think it is going to solve the problem that I was hoping to solve. Okay, back to the edging. The next one going right here. I wanted to show you about what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave about that much of a gap. And remember, that gap, maybe I'll close up just a little bit, will be covered up by that connecting clip. So just so you know, when I say a couple millimeters, that's about the way that I'm going to leave that gap. If you can get it right next to each other, if I was on a flat, level yard, I would definitely be putting it right next to it. But on this hill, it just causes a lot of challenges. So one solution I have found to the big slope is to just leave a little bit of a gap right there in between those two pieces. All right, this is looking good. Okay, putting this in right after that rain, and it is just dropping right down. This is super easy. If you have any hard, crusty soil, soak it quite a bit first. I'm telling you, that rain just made this a piece of cake. Okay, time for that metal clip. Before I do that, though, I want to show you how this turned out. Well, I've got a little bit of a V or an A in there, and that's because I'm on this hill. So again, if you're going down a hillside, you're going to have a little bit of gap somewhere. But as soon as I put that clip over, it's going to be just fine. So Again, here are those clips in the bag. So you can see how this piece will open. I can put that on one side and this on the other. Open it up a little bit so it slides. Oops, I missed one. So let's try that again. And now they're both in there. So again, this is a tight one like I had on the first one, because at the top they were almost touching, and I love that when it's tight. Let's see. Tap it down, not using the block of wood. I don't think it really matters. I'm gonna have to move that over just a little bit that way so I can get it around that rolled edge on the top of the edging. All right, well, I'm too close together. So I did not leave enough millimeters between the two. I'm gonna have to somehow make an adjustment to get this one further down that way by just literally a millimeter or two. Maybe if I just pound it in, because it's got some room down there at the bottom. Aha. Move that up, move that over. And now it's going to be pretty close to perfect. Nope, still not quite there. Let me pound that bottom side in a little more. Aha, there it is. Yes. Okay, so off camera, I added another piece here, and it brought me behind this post. And now I got to figure out what to do. These are the decisions you have to make. If I have this piece come all the way to the bottom of the steps, it leaves me with a gap. So I'm either going to have to cut a piece or try some sort of an overlap. Or I suppose I could bend that one and just turn it a little bit and have it start to go under the steps. I think maybe that's what I'll do. Another problem that I just ran into is I was trying not to have to bend this one anymore. So I just put the very edge of it here so I could cut right behind this post and then go straight across. And as I was digging and doing that, this footing here, this concrete footing underground, it actually extends all the way back to here. So I'm going to have to take this plant out and rebend this and bring it further back behind here so that it gets all the way through here so I can avoid the concrete right there. Otherwise, I'm busting up concrete. That's really just not going to be on my plan for today. Okay, let's take a look. I have now transplanted the little perennial there and brought this farther back behind the footing there. And I think it looks pretty nice. I went ahead and measured across from the patio edge over there to make sure I've got a nice parallel line going straight this way. So now I'm at the point where I've got to figure out what to do with this because I'm running out of room. This next piece is going to be too long. Unless I go all the way under the deck, I suppose I could just do that. Or what I think I'm going to try to do is go out to here and then bend it at a 90-degree angle and just bring it back a little bit. I think that's what I'm going to do. If so, I'll show you how to do that. Okay, here comes my first attempt at a 90-degree bend with the edge right edging. I'm going to come out 30 inches is what I measured down below there. And I'm going to put my block right there, about the 30-inch mark. Doesn't have to be exact. It's not that important. I'm going to see if I can just scratch it maybe to make a mark in case I lose that spot. Right about there it is. All right. And then the trick is we're going to keep that block right here on the space where we want to bend it. And then let's see how easy it is to pull it straight up against the block. I think it would be really easy if you were a strong person, but I'm not that strong. but still, here we are. So even with my lack of muscle, I think we got a pretty nice bend. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, it is. So it bent up a little bit. I don't know if you can see the angle there, so I might just pound on it a little bit with my hammer and see if I can straighten out this back part a little bit. But I think it worked. Okay, I've got it lined up, I think, so it's nice and straight. Ready to connect with that piece. Looking good over here. There we go. I'm going to start here at the corner. Tap it in there. Kind of like this with the V, you kind of get 2 pounds for the price of 1. Again, this is wet, so it's going in nice and easy today. All right, this time I've got probably about a centimeter or so, maybe about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of a gap there, but I think that's going to be all right. The more I do this, the more I learn that that's all right to have a little space in there. Put that clip down. Make sure it's centered. Make sure it's pinching on both sides. And pound it in. Nice and easy. Okay. And there you have it, the last piece of edging for this part of the project. So let's take a look at the whole thing. How does it look? I think it looks pretty good. So I've still got some landscaping to do. So I'll be adding some mulch and a little bit of color in here. And I'll take a shot of that and close with those pictures after I get that work finished. But how do you like the metal edging? I'll be honest with you. I contemplated a long time and thought, seriously, metal edging? I don't know about that. Really thought about it, researched lots of different solutions, lots of different possibilities. Went with this one, took a risk, and I'm really, really happy that I did because it went in easy. All the reservations that I had, like how am I going to bend this? If I make a mistake, am I going to be able to rebend it? The answers to those questions, yep, it's going to be all fine. So the EdgeRite metal edging system is what I used. I would recommend this product. It is a little bit expensive, however, do have to consider that when you see that price on the website, keep in mind that includes free shipping, and these boxes are heavy. So I think, if they would just reduce the price but then charge you for shipping, you'd pay a whole lot of money that way. So I think the product price with the free shipping really is justifiable because I have a feeling this stuff is going to last forever. I mean, it's probably going to outlast me, sadly. So I think that's the advantage to going with metal edging. Sometimes I take the dog on a walk around the neighborhood and I see people who have used a similar edging like this, but it's plastic, and you can really see even just after a year or two it starts to kind of wobble and sometimes it splits and it just doesn't look very good at all. So I think this one's here for a lifetime. Whew, I like it so much. I'm going to put it over here on this berm as well. So I've got more work to do. And it's hot. And it's July. And I'm going to put it on that berm over there. And then I'm going to put some more in the front yard. And I might take a day or two off before I start those projects. Hey, thanks for watching. As if you actually endured the whole thing and kept watching all the way through. Good for you, because this was really, really long. I hope you had some popcorn or something. But if you're considering doing this project, I hope the step-by-step, all the little details that I put in there will be helpful to you in some way. I like to help people out. Many people have helped me, and hopefully this will be a help to you. All right, good luck with your project. Let me go ahead and finish, and then I'll show you what the final thing looks like.